video which summarizes briefly the November 2024 edition of my LinkedIn newsletter, The Biomedical Artist, which is going to be about ballet for better cognition and for the prevention of dementia. This is 1 year anniversary of my LinkedIn newsletter, and I'm very excited that through this year I have published 11 editions, even more with some supplements, have already 59 subscribers. I'm very thankful and have many positive comments, and it has been wonderful to create art, ballets, and painting, and to share my ideas, both artistic and biomedical, about art and its beneficial role for health, both mental and physical, and for happiness. And I'm looking forward to the second year of my biomedical artist newsletter. And importantly, November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and ballet is wonderful for cognition. It supports cognition, and it also has been shown to prevent mild cognitive impairment. And so first, I would like to say that again my newsletter will have two aspects. One will be artistic and one will be biomedical. First, I created several ballets which want to celebrate November being Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and my ballets are abstract butterflies with the colors teal and purple, which are the colors of Alzheimer's. Teal is the color of Alzheimer's awareness for November, and purple is the color of Alzheimer's awareness for June in the Alzheimer's Association. And I will include a link to my ballets. And one might say that ballet has a beneficial role for cognition, learning, and memory, and for the prevention of cognitive decline. This is both based on my experience from dance and ballet, from what I have read from other ballerinas and dancers, and from science studies which have been published. And these are my opinions, and I welcome your comments and your opinions, which will be very valuable. Being a neuroscientist and a ballerina and a psychiatrist, I'm very excited to understand better the beneficial role of ballet for cognition, and hopefully how it can contribute to the prevention of cognitive decline and for the treatment. One might say that ballet is mostly a girl's and a women's art, but in reality we know that also boys and men like to dance ballet, and ballet was created by men. And King Louis XIV was instrumental in the creation of ballet. He was an avid dancer and supporter, and he helped to create the 5 different ballet positions in the first ballet school. And since the newsletter and my presentation are on the positive effects of ballet for cognition, I want to mention briefly what is cognition, although I'm sure that everyone knows and there are many definitions. And one of the definitions of cognition, which is from Cambridge Cognition, indicates that cognition is the mental process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. And even from here, we can see how ballet might have positive effects through experience and the senses. Because dancing ballet is excellent for the senses. And cognition includes a range of intellectual functions such as attention, memory, knowledge, decision-making, planning, reasoning, judgment, perception, comprehension, language, and visual-spatial function. The word cognition is derived from the Latin word cognoscere, which means get to know. Get to know the world around you, get to know yourself, and get to know and learn new things. And I would argue that cognition does not involve only mental processes, but it involves also bodily processes, the so-called embodied cognition. And I think this is where the immense value of ballet lies. Because when you dance ballet, you concentrate and you perceive the world with your body, and you express yourself through your body and your senses. Cognitive impairment is a term that refers to abnormal aspects of cognition. And this may occur not only in brain disorders such as Alzheimer's disease or dementia, but it can also occur in Parkinson's, depression, and also in non-brain disorders such as kidney disease, diabetes, cancer, and anemia. And now to say how science studies show why ballet would be beneficial for cognition and for prevention of cognitive impairment. Science study published in Neurology, November 2023, so this is last year, the Harvard Aging Brain Study shows that the size of the hippocampus, which is a key brain structure involved in learning and memory, shrinks with cognitive decline. And regardless of whether a person has amyloid or tau in their brain, these are the substances which are thought to accumulate in Parkinson's disease. I'm sorry, I have to turn the light on. And so this is amazing that the size of the hippocampus shrinks in various forms of dementia: Alzheimer's disease, frontotemporal lobar degeneration, vascular dementia, idiopathic Parkinson's disease. And another science study shows that ballet increases the size of the hippocampus. This is a clinical research study with professional ballet dancers 18 to 35 years old, and the title of the paper is Vestibular Hippocampal Function is Enhanced and Brain Structure Altered in Professional Ballet Dancers in Frontiers of Integrative Neuroscience. And this study shows that professional ballet dancers have larger gray matter volumes in the right hippocampus, parahippocampal gyrus, the insulate and cingulate motor cortex, whereas both larger and smaller volumes are detected within the cerebellum bilaterally in comparison to non-dancers. And also, the ballet dancers perform better than the non-dancers in the clinical balance tests, which would be expected because ballet dancers are trained to keep their balance. And therefore, we might expect that ballet, by increasing the gray matter in the hippocampus, a key structure involved in learning and memory, which is decreased in all forms of dementia, would be beneficial through this mechanism for prevention of cognitive decline and for reversal of cognitive decline. And indeed, a science study, another clinical study, shows that ballet dancing, or more specifically choreographed dancing, is more effective than physical exercise in prevention, in reversal of mild cognitive impairment. In the study's comparative cognitive effects of choreographed exercise and multimodal physical therapy in older adults with amnestic mild cognitive impairment, published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease 2020. And this study shows that greater cognitive benefits are achieved in the choreographic intervention than in the multimodal physical therapy, mainly those functions more related to the risk of conversion to dementia. And besides effects on the size of the hippocampus, other beneficial effects of ballet for learning, memory, and cognition and prevention of dementia and Alzheimer's might be that ballet aids in concentration, and we know that when a person concentrates, they learn better and they can recall better information. Also, ballet reduces stress and anxiety, which may inhibit learning and memory and cognition. It allows emotional expression and supports better blood supply and better breathing and better oxygenation. And it's also beneficial with the position that ballet dancers usually assume, with the back straight and the shoulders down, and with hips tucked under, This position stimulates better breathing and reduces stress, and it facilitates the brain-body communication, which might also facilitate cognition. And so the ballet has benefits not only through the dancing and the movement, but likely also through the music, which also has great effects for cognition. And I think that even a more simplistic explanation of why ballet is beneficial for cognition is that during ballet you learn through trial and error, and you move, and you are in essence more like a young person, because young people rarely have cognitive decline. They keep learning and moving and dancing and developing. And given the knowledge of the positive effects of ballet on the brain and the body, I would suggest why not have ballet classes in school, not just dance schools, but the conventional ordinary high schools, because the earlier people start to dance ballet, the better effects there will be on the brain. And of course, if not everyone likes it, they don't have to take the class, but it's worth trying. Because also the music is beautiful and the stories are beautiful, and ultimately this is an art form that is very beneficial for learning, memory, and cognition, and also brings a lot of joy. And for November, I would say that other art endeavors which are excellent for learning and memory and support cognition may be drawing of mandalas and listening to music. The Thanksgiving holidays and time with friends and family allow the opportunity to get together and engage in such pleasurable activities together, which are excellent for the mind and the brain. And it has been shown that drawing of mandalas prevents Alzheimer's disease, and it's also very good for patients with Alzheimer's. And in addition to creating my ballets during November, I have started a watercolor painting of ballets, of ballerinas and butterflies, which is also an excellent art form that reduces stress and might help learning and memory, observational skills, and better cognition. And I hope that with this brief video, I have excited you more about the beneficial role of ballet for learning, memory, cognition, and prevention of dementia. I hope that you find time during November to dance and to create your own art for health and happiness. Thank you very much for your attention.